Level 2081 consists of a seemingly endless parking lot that stretches out for hundreds of miles, and possibly further. The parking lot is a simple parking lot, besides the fact it is enormously large in size, resembling one you find in front of a Walmart or supermarket. The time on this level is strange and unlike other levels. It is always nighttime, and the night stretches on for about 12 hours before the moon sets. Once the moon sets, all source of light in the level is gone, and any light tools you brought with you, such as flashlights or lanterns, will cease to work. This time is known as nocturnal midnight. The level will be saturated in darkness until the moon rises another 12 hours later. It is recommended to exit this level as fast as possible, as once the moon sets, entities will emerge. What happens if an angry bird enters the back rooms? If an angry bird enters the back rooms, three strange things may occur. For one, all entities will become sexually attracted to the angry bird and want to do naughty things to it. Secondly, all levels will become filled with bag piggies and will become very dangerous for the angry bird. Finally, if the angry bird cheats, he will be fucked. What if you eat a Backrooms entity? If you eat a Backrooms entity, one of three strange things will occur. Firstly, yes, entities are edible, although this does not mean you should eat them or that they taste good. Second, if you eat an entity raw without cooking it, there is a chance you will turn into said entity. And finally, there is a slight chance that if an entity of the same kind that you ate saw you eat that entity, it will chase you and not stop until you die. What if a dinosaur enters the back rooms? If a dinosaur enters the back rooms, three strange things may occur. For one, the dinosaur cannot enter the back rooms because dinosaurs are dead. Secondly, if the dinosaur sees an angry bird, it will get horny and start flirting with the angry bird. Finally, if the dinosaur cheats, he will be fucked in the ass. What if a Genshin Impact player enters the back rooms? If a Genshin Impact player enters the back rooms, three strange things may occur. For one, as soon as they enter the back rooms, they will instantly be forced to touch grass. Secondly, if the Genshin Impact player refuses to touch grass, they will be forced to bend over and face the wrath of 100 entities entering the Genshin player. And finally, if the Genshin player still refuses to touch grass, the backrooms will send the player back to the front rooms in denial. What is Backrooms Level 666? Backrooms Level 666 is classified as a Class Dead Zone, with numerous hazards, presence of lethal entities, and being, quote, strictly uninhabitable. Level 666, otherwise known as Gates of Hell or the Hallway to Hell, is a system of hallways constructed out of Japanese torii gates, extending in an unspecified length. Its physical appearance is indistinguishable from that of the Fushimi Inari Shrine, though accompanied by slight anomalies and bewildering geometry. Its properties, such as its complex configuration, in addition to its hazardous nature, result in its intended purpose to be annulled. Nonetheless, there might be a chance Level 666 was deliberated as a tourist attraction. What if you smash a Backrooms entity? If one has intercourse with an entity, three crazy things may occur. For one, depending on if the entity consented or not, there is a chance the entity will retaliate and unalive you. If the entity did consent, other entities of that kind will treat you as one of their own and not try to unalive you. Secondly, however, if the entity or person becomes pregnant, it will give birth to a monstrosity with an enormous and humongous unga-wungas. These terrifyingly large Big Mommy milkers require being milked at least 45 times a day. Thirdly, if the big bazungas are not milked, then the newborn abomination will retaliate by f***ing the parents at the same time, then throw them in the void. What if you fall in love with a Backrooms entity? If you fall in love with an entity in the Backrooms, three sad things will most likely take place. For one, falling in love with a Backrooms entity might lead to a strong attachment to the surreal world of the Backrooms. You may become so captivated by this entity that you willingly stay in the Backrooms, forsaking the real world for an eerie, never-ending labyrinth. Secondly, being in love with a Backrooms entity could create a deep conflict between the surreal and the real world. You might find it challenging to maintain relationships, responsibilities, and your grasp on reality as you become increasingly disconnected from the world outside could result in a sense of eternal loneliness, as the Backrooms are a place where human connection is scarce or non-existent. So, what happens if you go crazy in the Backrooms? To subside to insanity, only one of three things has to occur. For one, a lack of almond water can lead to the retch cycle, a terrifying process in which a wanderer that has succumbed mentally to the mental draining effects of the Backrooms, or has had a continuous lack of nutrients such as food and almond water. Secondly, in the Backrooms, there is a sanity effect that all wanderers within the Backrooms have. If the sanity drops below a certain number, terrible things can happen. Sanity can be prevented from reaching low numbers by remembering to drink almond water on a regular basis. And finally, the human mind is incompatible with the Backrooms, so even the strongest minds will get chipped away eventually just by being there. So to answer your question, what if you get caught by a partygoer in the Backrooms? Partygoers will attempt to predict what path their prey took and map out a suitable location to create a party room. Once they have assembled the party room, they will sit and wait for their prey to step inside. Once they have stepped inside the party room, an ambush will commence, and all partygoers who stepped into making the project will tie their prey down with ropes made from cake around their arms to make sure they can't fight back. The partygoers will then force their prey onto the chair in the middle of the room, tie their legs down, and shove cake down their throats. What if Donald Trump enters the Backrooms? If Donald Trump enters the Backrooms, only three things will occur. One, Donald Trump will be elected to become president of the Backrooms. Two, since he is so awesome, he will free everyone from the Backrooms so they can go home. Finally, he will build a wall around the Backrooms to prevent more people from no-clipping in.
Level 20,081 consists of a seemingly endless parking lot that stretches out for hundreds of miles, and possibly further. The parking lot is a simple parking lot, besides the fact it is enormously large in size, resembling one you find in front of a Walmart or supermarket. The time on this level is strange, and unlike other levels. It is always nighttime, and night stretches on for about 12 hours, before the moon sets. Once the moon sets, all source of light in the level is gone, and any light tools you brought with you, such as flashlights or lanterns, will cease to work. This time is known as nocturnal midnight. The level will be saturated in darkness until the moon rises another 12 hours later. It is recommended to exit this level as fast as possible, as once the moon sets, entities will emerge. Throughout the level you can find small buildings such as gas stations or supermarkets, which are scattered about, and very rare to come across. These buildings can have supplies such as almond water, food, and supplies. There have been rumors about a safe building in this level, which is rumored to appear after the wanderer has survived 3 nights in this level. No known people have survived to prove evidence. The so-called safe building is a small building that takes the form of an electrical substation. The substation is supposed to have a small light bulb inside, which is said to still shine during nocturnal midnight. The light is also supposed to ward off entities. Entities on this level appear only during nocturnal midnight, and appear in hordes. The only known entities on this level are known as were bears. These so-called were bears will appear at the dozen once the moon sets. Each hour after until the moon sets, they will appear twice as much as before, on the hour. Once the moon rises, and light appears once again, the bears seemingly disappear. The bears appear to somewhat afraid or have a weakness of light. The physical characteristics of these bears remain unknown due to the fact they only appear in pitch blackness. The only reason we know these bears exist is because of their eyes, which can be seen during nocturnal midnight as white dots. It is recommended that if you see these eyes, you immediately run in the opposite direction, as these bears are very aggressive and very hostile. Survivors of encounters with these bears remain to a minimum. Entrances and exits. To enter this level, you can dream of a parking lot in level 2001, or no clip on level 42 for a chance to appear here. To exit this level, you must find a gas station or supermarket within the level, and use a bathroom to be sent to level 189 when you exit the bathroom. Chances of bathrooms spawning in these supermarkets and gas stations are around 20%, and chances of them being unlocked for you to enter are around 12%.
Level -2 comprises multiple zones, with the primary zone known as the pool. This area constitutes a derelict basement that has become inundated with almond water. The depth of the almond water reaches 2 feet (0.61 m), but it's essential to note that consumption is strongly discouraged due to its high contamination with bacteria and various undesirable substances. The architecture of level -2 consists of a metallic ceiling and tan-hued walls. The certain regions exhibit wooden paneling. Illumination is provided by scattered lights within level -2, albeit many of these fixtures are non-functional or damaged. The section known as the Hall of Dull Flames is still relatively unknown, as there have only been 2 encounters with the area. It differs from the best-known section greatly. Lago Midago stated on his original post on Bound Forum that the section resembled the layout of level 0, but the walls are a terribly stained baby blue with a white carpet equally stained. Fluorescent lights line the ceiling, but give off no light, providing nothing to the level other than the maddening humbuzz present in many other levels. The walls are lined with lanterns that house flames that provide an ominous blue hue to the room. The color of the flames change color at random intervals, and it has been rumored to be linked to dire consequences for anything that moves in the light of the red flame. The distorted sound of a piano can be heard in the distance of the level, playing anything from Mozart to Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Skin stealers inhabit this section, and they also obey to the red flames of the room, halting any movement when the red flames of the lanterns glow. No other entities have been reported on this section, but Lago Midago reported seeing a red vest seemingly owned by a baby fastling hanging on one of the walls. There is another reported section, known as the Abyss, but akin to the Hall of Dull Flames. It is still very much unexplored, as only Beyond Forum user Minion 142 claims to have explored it. The Abyss seems to be a never-ending room of darkness, stretching on for what seems like miles. Only one entity has been found here. Known as the Kafkaesque Maze, which has also only been explored by Minion 142. It is a purple hedge maze stretching on for miles, and is home to an entity known as the Level -2 poses significant environmental hazards and is inhabited by hostile entities, primarily skin stealers. Additionally, an aquatic creature with fish-like characteristics has been rumored to roam the waters of level -2, warranting avoidance. Entering level -2 voluntarily is strongly discouraged. There have been accounts of improvised waterborne camps featuring a variety of makeshift furnishings. These compact camps, accommodating no more than 6 or 7 individuals at most, generally maintain a welcoming atmosphere. However, their existence is often transient and short-lived. Living within any level has a small chance of being transported to level -2. Similarly, the act of entering specific doors within level -1 holds a chance of directing you to level -2. If you manage to pass through a yellow wall in level 13, it will consequently lead to level -2. Furthermore, within level 19, utilizing damaged doors can also result in access to this particular level. Ending the staircase will bring you to level 14. If you find yourself in level 14, remember that this stairwell can also lead you back to level -2. However, be cautious and swift, as its presence might vanish. If you immerse yourself completely in the water for over 10 seconds, there's a slight possibility of being transported to level -3.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-public.